AITA for saying, "I told you so," when my wife got banned from seeing our grandson? My wife has been in constant contact with our daughter-in-law, our son's wife, about plenty of things. Their very recent argument ensued after my wife kept insisting on being present in the delivery room despite getting a resounding no. My wife was having none of it. And after my son and his wife changed hospitals to throw my wife off after she threatened to barge into the room, she eventually found out. I didn't tell her, and got very mad. I told her to stop and think. Because if she keeps this up, she will lose all chances to see her grandbaby. She told me off and went to make a huge scene at the hospital my daughter-in-law was at. It did not end well, and my wife came home crying hysterically after getting chewed out by our son and kicked out of the hospital. Things remained tense till my son called to invite me to see the baby for the first time. He did not invite my wife, which sent her into a mental breakdown. I had an argument with her after she tried to guilt me into staying with her and shame my son for keeping his mom away from her grandbaby. But I told her, "I told you so," and said that she had plenty of opportunities to get right with our daughter-in-law, but she blew them away because of her stubbornness. She started yelling about how unsupportive and cruel I was. Just like our son to be siding against her instead of defending her and staying home with her when our son banned her from meeting her grandbaby. I went anyway, and she kept arguing about me taking the wrong side instead of defending her. I feel bad for her, but at the same time I think that she was being irrational and made this a competition despite knowing how our son and his wife felt about her behavior. NTA. There's been similar posts like this in AITA and Just Normal, and I'm so interested to know. 'Cause it's never from the husband, Phil's perspective. Why on earth do you stay with this woman? Seriously. This can't be an isolated component of her personality. Because this behavior is a pattern, and an extreme one at that. So please. I gotta know. Why are you remaining married to such a selfish jerk? Your wife is being so irrational here. I'm a little worried for her. Is she this way about other things? Or is this new behavior for her? You might want to see a medical professional with her. NTA. NTA. Big yikes. Has she always been this way? NTA. Good for you for siding with your son and Dill against your wife's brand of crazy. Hopefully this teaches her a lesson. Though probably not. NTA. I actually want to say thank you. Because there are many husbands who would have thought that having their wife's back meant going along with her batshit crazy. And you are an example of how that simply isn't the case. Your wife is abusive to your Dill. And you refuse to play a part in that. So thank you. You raised your son well. Because he had his wife's back when she was in a vulnerable position. And you had your wife's back by tell her she was being a jackass when she needed to hear it. Even though it didn't make a difference. Bravo. Up. NTA. She is being horrible to your son and his wife. She will end up in our Just Normal if she keeps it up. She owes them a huge apology. NTA. Your wife probably needs some professional help for her narcissism. You are 100% right. She acted in an unacceptable way, and these are the consequences. I hope for all of your sake she starts to see reason. But I wouldn't twist yourself into a pretzel trying to make that happen. NTA. Why do you feel bad for her? She has proven herself to stomp any boundaries, which can be detrimental to a new family and a newborn. I get she is your wife. But she is acting, quite honestly, insane. Hunting down a hospital room because she feels entitled to be there to watch a woman pop a baby out of her vagina? Nah. Come on. I am honestly wondering why she acts this way. It sounds like some awful control issues. And you may need to take this up with a counselor. as you may lose your son and his family too if they decide it's too risky to keep in contact with both of you. Which, after her behavior, I don't think would be unjustified. NTA. You actually sound like too rational a person to be married to a person like this, TBH. NTA. And don't let her destroy your relationship with your son and grandson just to side with her when she's so absolutely wrong. She's showing you this is about power and not love or relationships. NTA. She is being overbearing and manipulative. Kudos to you for choosing not to enable her absolutely out of control behavior. NTA. As much as I hate the saying, she fucked around and found out. NTA. Has your wife always been this irrational and entitled? NTA. How can a grown woman not understand boundaries? You did nothing wrong. She needs to apologize to you. Sun and Dill. I wouldn't be surprised if Sun and Dill keep her on low to no contact until she learns how to behave. This one is pretty cut and dried. No one gets into the delivery room without an invite from the mother. Period. I can't imagine this sort of behavior is an isolated incident for your wife. Does she always feel this entitled to others' private matters? NTA. NTA. I've heard so many stories of Mills treating Dills like garbage and the rest of the family is indifferent. You stood up for your son and Dill, and informed your wife of the consequences of her actions. She's old enough, and been old enough for years, to understand the consequences of her actions, and she ignored them. I hope at least you are able to be in your grandchild's life. I know I would never trade my grandfather for anything. Enjoy your time with the baby and your son and leave your wife to reap what she sowed. NTA. I'd consider a divorce over this, to be perfectly honest. NTA. Just focus on supporting your son, Dill and grandbaby, and let her deal with the consequences of her actions. NTA. Actions have consequences. It just sucks she's learned that so late in life. NTA. You go build a relationship with your grandson. You warned your wife. She now has to live with the consequences of her actions.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.